So this first one, the question I asked was, do you think layer 2, okay, just if you're in the chat room, you will see which is layer 2. Layer 1 is right here. Let me annotate on this. This is what layer 1, and then below it we have layer 2. Right. So you're looking at this. Do you think layer 2 was eroded during the deposition of layer 1, or it was a pre-existing low? In other words, did you think that this cut, what we're seeing here, was there before this layer 1 was deposited, or you think that layer 1 was what created the cut? I'd like to get your thoughts on this. Okay. Well, I think the observations are in the next slide. Everyone has observed, similar thing, similar to what I think the next slide captures. Just so we know, this is not the answer. It's just observations, as we rightly say. One thing that we cannot agree here is that we see this red, this yellow, line. That's first observed boundary. Difference in color. Below in layer 2, we don't have strata terminations that we can say we pick up, but we see that there's this fascies 2, kind of not a lot of structures to really make out here. And then above that, like Madam Doja highlighted, there is this part that if I go back and forth, you don't see those layerings. And then above that, you start seeing this part of it. That's the upper part of layer 1. That you see, you can actually make out the this horizontal to sub-horizontal beds, and you can see their relationship with this lower part of it on both sides. So the question I was asking then was, do you think what we have in 1 is what created these cuts? Or do you think we had a depositional low that was filled like a low, like a small depression or a gully or something that is just based on topography, that's what it was, that was now filled gradually by this component, this spark, and then eventually you now had this layer, upper part of layer 1. And the way I want us to think about it is process, like Prof said. For something to create a cut, it's got to be very erosive. That means the contents of that fascies that is creating that cut, I will expect it to be, laden with more larger grain size, heavy, high velocity, such that you can see that this probably created a cut. Well, we'll look at another section that probably shows more better example of that, where what we have within has got coarser grain sizes, pebbly components than what you have below. But in this case, I'm inclined to think that we had the pre-existing, geomorphologically, you had some kind of a depression that was filled gradually by this part, this fascies, and then followed by this other one, which because it's horizontal to sub-horizontal, you can almost argue that this just came and filled in what was it. It did not have the erosive energy to create a cut or to, besides, you're not seeing that it is any different, significant in terms of grain size with what you have below it. It's instead, it might even look muddier, which means lower erosive energy. Again, that is just a thought. That is just one way to look at this. It is not the answer. It is just observations and possible scenarios in terms of what happened.